Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Li Tai. Thank you for joining us. In our top stories, windstorm victims in Balik Pulau in Malaysia's Penang received much-needed relief supplies from Tzu Chi immediately after the disaster. To celebrate the 20th anniversary of Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth, we have a featured series on former college volunteers who are dedicating their life for the greater good. And later we take you on a tour to understand how the traditional Chinese delicacy tofu skin is made free from any additives at an old factory in Taiwan's Kaohsiung. A sudden windstorm in Balik Pulau in Malaysia's Penang caused heavy damage across 3 local villages, affecting some 150 people. Fortunately, no one was hurt. Tzu Chi volunteers immediately traveled to the reeling communities to deliver relief goods.
The scene is a mess at the villages of Balik Pulau, Malaysia, after being struck by a terrible storm. Roofs were blown away and trees have fallen down, even crashing on houses.
Everything was destroyed wherever microbursts occurred, including the rice fields.
I was going to bed that night. It started raining with very strong winds. When my kid and I were about to fall asleep, the tree outside fell down. We all just screamed.
Although 22 households in the villages suffered great losses, luckily no one was injured.
Everything happened so fast, I couldn't react at all. I could only take my child to a safe corner.
Tzu Chi volunteers delivered relief goods to one of the villages just one day after the storm. The village chief accompanies the volunteers on their home visitations despite being a victim himself.
My house was hit by the storm too, but I'm really grateful that Tzu Chi volunteers came to visit and console us.
The volunteers admire the village chief's spirit in helping out the villagers first, before attending to his own loss at home.
Still on the topic of disaster relief, at the beginning of March this year, a tornado outbreak occurred across Midwestern United States, with Kentucky being one of the worst hit states. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers returned to Kentucky to hold an aid distribution in Kenton County, where cash cards and relief items for 40 families were handed out.
And give it the gift to our friends. Take a high.
Bowing in respect and handing out relief items, Tzu Chi volunteers' care and love finally reached the hands of the March tornado victims. A series of tornadoes left a trail of destruction in the state of Kentucky in early March, and Tzu Chi volunteers weren't able to hold a distribution as the name list of 8 recipients couldn't be finalized. With help from Kenton County's Homeland Security and Emergency Management Agency, volunteers from 6 cities put together a distribution.
The spiritual assistance and guidance that you've rendered to these people today has been overwhelming. You could see it in their eyes as the presentations continued.
The belated relief items let the tornado victims know that they have not been forgotten.
We need to know people care, and I think when organizations like yours come forth and step up to the plate to help people out like this, it's just something that's never forgotten.
Angela, whose son was born 8 minutes after the tornado, believes everything happens for a reason.
He went into the hospital the night before, and he was actually born 8 minutes after the tornado took out our home and my parents' home and my cousin's home. But we were all at the hospital waiting for his delivery, and so we were all okay.
40 families received cash cards and environmental blankets, and also took home with them coin banks so they can reciprocate Tzu Chi's love.
Moving to China, Tzu Chi has an organic farm in Suzhou, and the first crop of wheat is now ready for harvest. As families and volunteers work together for the harvest, they learn more about the importance of organic farming. In December of last year, Tzu Chi's Yangshan Organic Farm planted its first crop of wheat. From the beginning, volunteers held to organic farming methods. From the seeding to the non-use of fertilizer and pesticides, every step was in harmony with nature. After 6 months, the wheat was ripe and it looked to be a bumper harvest. Early in the morning, volunteers under the leadership of several experienced farmers learn how to correctly harvest the wheat. For many of the volunteers from the city, every cut helps them better understand the wisdom and toil that make up a farmer's life.
Don't use force with your left hand. Put your power into your right hand, and with one stroke, it will be done.
As a long-term supervisor of the organic farm, Chen Chao says he is extremely pleased with his first harvest.
We're looking at a bumper harvest. Compared to the traditional farming methods of using fertilizer and pesticides, our harvest is about the same. As well, the size of the grains are good. Mother Nature has its own way of ensuring the growth of plants, so we don't need to do too much and interfere too much with the environment.
Tzu Chi's organic farming methods are a way to concretely show how to protect this earth and eat healthy at the same time. Lessons on the symbiotic relationship between man and nature had a big influence on several volunteers.
In the factory, we usually have to deal with the management of people, and sometimes we can't take care of everything. After working with the brothers and sisters here, I have had a change of heart, and now think more about how to work in cooperation with people in my department or related departments.
Volunteers hope that the idea of respecting the earth and working in harmony with it will not only bring year after year of bumper harvests, but also help sprout the seeds of love in more people. Staying in China but moving to Hebei province, we meet 9-year-old Shi Jun, a Tzu Chi care recipient born with a dislocated hip, whose family couldn't afford to rehabilitate her legs. Fortunately, Tzu Chi stepped in to help give Shi Jun a new leg on life.
Carrying his daughter on his back in temperatures of 10 Celsius or less, Si Xingguo and his daughter Si Jun are on their way to a Beijing hospital some 200 kilometers away. Born with a hip dislocation, Si Jun's legs are two different lengths. In 2011, with the financial help of Tzu Chi, Si Jun was admitted to a Beijing hospital, and after 5 hours of surgery, finally able to put the deformity that plagued her since birth behind her. After the surgery, Si Jun stayed in the hospital to recuperate and start her rehab. Although it was a 5-hour train ride to Beijing from Hebei, there was always a family member beside her. Although the rehabilitation was difficult, it was necessary in order for Si Jun to make a complete recovery. Her mother was by her side to encourage her through the difficult time.
She is very strong. When she was in school, she got laughed at a lot by her classmates. She would come home crying to me. Sometimes when she walked, children would walk behind her, making fun of the way she walked.
Thankfully, this is all history, as Si Jun has made a complete recovery and now started on the path to a new life, one in which she can walk tall.
A group of Tzu Chi's traditional Chinese medicine specialists from Taiwan traveled to Brazil, Sao Paulo, and Rio for charity clinics that benefited both locals and the Chinese community alike. Let's find out more. A team of Tzu Chi's traditional Chinese medicine specialists flew from Taiwan to Rio, Brazil to hold a free clinic. A paraplegic woman came with her family for a consultation.
Your mother's hip bones are locked, and that's why she can't get up.
After acupuncture, the old woman is able to stand up for a little while with support from others. On the second day of the health event, treatment allowed this woman who needed a walking stick to celebrate her recovery by dancing. Meanwhile, in Sao Paulo, team of doctors are putting their expertise to good use. Immediately after the Buddha Day ceremony, many Tzu Chi volunteers took the opportunity to see the doctors from Taiwan. One wheelchair-bound young man is here, hoping to stand back up again. The charity clinic that specializes in traditional Chinese medicine concludes successfully, sending many patients home with a smile. When going to the hospital, many people are inclined to avoid young doctors, fearing they lack the experience. However, at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, Dr. Xu Jingfen is actually very popular in spite of her young age. We find out why.
Doctor, you're so nice to us. I have so much respect for you.
Grandpa Wang is always happy to visit Dr. Xu Jingfen of Taipei's Tzu Chi Hospital. Due to past bad experiences, Grandpa Wang once refused to see a doctor. However, it was Dr. Xu's respectful and compassionate manner that changed the senior's mind.
Dr. Xu is very friendly and approachable, which helps make my father feel secure. Her cordial ways improve how he feels.
Ms. Jian also cannot say enough about the young doctor. Thanks to Dr. Xu, she can now sleep and eat better. Not only does Ms. Jian actively introduce more patients for Dr. Xu, she also found her some 20 new Tzu Chi members.
When I talk to Dr. Xu, she makes me feel that she really does care about what I have to say, and she will reply with words to make me feel better. Though she is young, I still tell my family and friends to come see her.
The young doctor says she is popular among her patients because she listens to their worries and cares for them with love.
They're not feeling well because of many different reasons. There must be something that I can do for them.
Using sincerity and love as a cure, Dr. Xu has not only managed to help her patients, but also turn her office into a spiritual training ground.
This year is the 20th anniversary of Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth or College Tzu Chi volunteers. To mark the milestone, starting today, we'll be bringing you a 5-part series on former Tzu Chings who follow their calling to serve humanity. Today, we introduce to you Ye Binglun, who studied in Australia, became a lawyer after college, and gave up a promising career to follow in the footsteps of Master Zheng Yan as a Buddhist lay practitioner at the Jingsi Abode in Taiwan.
新加坡报名9位，然后那个吉隆坡报名5位，所以光这两个。
Multitasking between meetings, phone calls, and emails, Ye Binglun, a personnel at Tzu Chi Foundation's religious department, proficiently juggles his work. In his previous job, he had the luxury of a secretary for all his administrative work. At the age of 10, Ye Binglun immigrated to Brisbane, Australia with his family. 6 years later, he took part in his first Tzu Ching camp, marking the beginning of his commitment to Tzu Chi's local charity projects. Later, the once shy and reserved young man became the director of the local Tzu Ching club. After college, Ye Binglun worked as a well-paid lawyer in Australia. However, there had always been another career choice on his mind, a calling that constantly beckoned him.
When I came back to Hualien to serve as the head organizer of the Global Tzu Ching Training Camp, the master asked me when I would graduate. The question sent shockwaves through my body. I replied, "Master, I understand what you're saying."
With that mutual understanding and deep connection, Ye Binglun ultimately returned to the Jingsi Abode in Hualien to work for the NGO. He can be seen in international disaster relief missions and even became a host for Tzu Chi in-depth news reports on DaAi TV.
全球观众朋友，大家好，欢迎收看慈济新闻深度报道，我是叶炳伦。 其实是很紧张的。
I was really nervous because I was not trained as media professional. But the master said to me, we should let go of yesterday and focus on today, and not be affected by our gains or losses. She also said that if we can't do the show, how is it even possible to show the Tzu Chi's responsibilities?
The setbacks only made Ye stronger as he resolutely pursued Master Zheng Yan's goals and became a Buddhist lay practitioner at the Jinsi abode that he now calls home. He continues to seek self-improvement by taking part in retreats after work.
If I don't give 100% to this job, I will be letting down those who supported my decision to come back here. Most importantly, I will be letting myself down.
Always giving it his best, Ye Bingluan is now a Ciqing alumnus who hopes to be an example for his fellow brothers and sisters. He also has something to say to them.
Ciqing is not just a club, it is a part of our life. At a great time like this, we need to know our mission and bravely carry it all.
Ye Bingluan's commitment to Ciji is demonstrated in his constant self-cultivation and work in his daily life, a legacy that can be seen passing from one Ciqing generation to the next. Like Ye Bingluan in the previous story, many people have been inspired to give at a young age. In the continuation of our featured report, Love Changes the World, today we meet another group of 6th graders, this time from Jiayi, who were inspired to do something for famine-stricken African children by promoting kitchen waste reduction to local restaurants.
Hello, we are students from NCU, affiliated experimental elementary school. We are doing a survey on cherishing food resources. All right, no worries.
Students from the affiliated experimental elementary school of National Jiayi University are carrying out a project to promote food management. After some hard work, the youngsters finally find a restaurant that supports their idea.
Hi, we are students from NCU Affiliated Experimental Elementary School. Can we put up a poster here? Thank you.
The posters remind customers to only take what they can eat and in the end help the restaurant reduce more than 10 kilos of kitchen waste.
I think they're very courageous. Yes, they're still young, so they will continue to work hard.
Little did the store owner know that it actually took the students a whole period of class to practice making calls out to restaurants.
I practiced with my classmate and pretended that he was the salesperson and I was the one calling.
The youngsters were first inspired by video footage of starving children in Africa. With help from their teacher, they successfully helped a restaurant reduce kitchen waste and in the process also learned a few precious lessons.
It helped me learn that we should cherish food and not waste anything. As long as we have food on the table, we should be happy.
I'm quite surprised we are able to achieve this, and I feel a sense of accomplishment. I didn't think that as a team we would be able to achieve so much.
The children's efforts won them an award from the King Car Education Foundation.
When the students are working in a team and working towards a common goal, they are really able to achieve great things. Though I'm their teacher, I should learn from them too.
Through promoting kitchen waste reduction, the students not only learn about teamwork, but that with love and effort, the world can be a better place.
Making tofu skins takes a lot of work and generates little profit, which explains why the trade has started to fade out. But a 60-year-old bean curd sheet factory in Kaohsiung's Meinong district insists on making the soy product the traditional way. In today's featured series on Taiwan's sunset trade, we learn from how this factory still keeps up without compromising their all-natural recipe.
Early in the morning in Meinong district, everything's still covered by fog. Meanwhile, the beauty of stillness is seen on the footpath between the fields. Following the steam and the smell of cooked soybeans, we arrived at Song Xingfu's bean curd sheet factory. Inside the steam-filled factory, a group of people are working between the boiler and the steam room. To produce good quality tofu skins, the owner insists on cooking the soy milk using firewood. After a few moments of steaming, tofu skins are formed on the surface inside the wooden boxes. Under 80-degree temperatures, the delicate tofu skins are made. After hanging them on wooden sticks, the freshly made soy products sway gently like a pleated skirt. To make the delicious tofu skins, Mr. Song and his wife start making the soy milk before dawn. They're the factory's second-generation business owners and work day and night.
早上太早起来，这个温度太高了。
那你还愿意嫁？无人讲说爱着较创死啊，无法度啊。
被拐，
对不对？被拐到被骗他，他再辛苦也是要继续他，就是嫁鸡随鸡嘛。就是他既然做了，那也是要跟着做啊。
Still working is 85-year-old Mr. Song, who's very proud of his son who took over the family business.
He works really hard making delicious bean curd sheets. Everyone says the soy products he makes are really healthy and tasty.
My daughter-in-law has been a great help. My son is smarter than his father and takes good care of the family business. Both of them have made the business better.
Meanwhile, the sun peeks out from the clouds, drying the soy products under the sun. A gloss appears on them.
You make more money if the products look nice, but do you feel at ease?
It's
a problem of conscience, since my parents-in-law never added additive into their product, so we still make our tofu skins without any additives, preservatives, or bleaching agents. They're bad for our health and the health of our consumers, so we insist on making the skins the natural way and drying them under the sun.
To make the most natural products, it takes a lot of strength and good weather.
We have to look at the weather forecast every day. If we are in monsoon season, then we don't work because we can't dry the tofu skin. The soy product will go bad if we don't dry it under the sun.
In a world that is full of food additives, the Song family stands by their promise to make their tofu skins the most natural and traditional way, regardless of the profit gained.
Finally today, we follow a group of Tsichins in Sydney, Australia, as they called on many volunteers to help plant 1,550 tree saplings in the farming town of Burra. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.